is dope.
What are we looking at?
Oh, I don't even know yet. I can't know. I was gonna take a quick nap, but I can't.
Oh, okay. I see.
What's up?
Little hacker talk going on. Look at that skull. That's amazing.
Oh fuck, dude! I gotta take care of this dude because you don't know.
Good, brother. You're good, man. Do you?
I mean, hey, Francis, dude, you can unmute your mic. We're good. You can't see the stream.
So
yeah, like my computer and shit is lagging so bad that like
I think you need to hit Vibestream, like.
And
I got my
I'll make Mason needs an invite.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sure. I thought that I had given him the option here, but I suppose I have not. But that will be fixed.
I don't know if he just needs one. Yeah.
All good. He should be good to go. He can get in now.
Roots right there, man.
Yeah, it's really gonna be
No problem. While they get that going, Gage, what do you think is going to be happening with this happening?
You know, I don't know, but I actually wanted to.
About it on and off, but
You know, now that we're right here in the middle, what I do want to do, I'm gonna swap to. Let me pull this up really quick because I wanted to do this earlier, and I think it's a good opportunity to do it in between people. But let's go check out the countdown here. What do you think?
yeah, let's go check that out just for a moment while they get that set up. Once they get it set up, we'll hand over the reins, and it looks like they're gonna have a sick ass segment.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm excited about it for sure.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
going on?
So yeah, you guys, I'm gonna broadcast this to the people of YouTube. You guys won't actually see it, but this is right now the Bitcoin Halving countdown. We have 13 hours, 8 minutes, and 43 seconds. So it's actually going a little faster than we thought. It looks like it's going to be about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Eastern time.
The beginning of the end for BTC.
Yeah.
The beginning. Oh, I like that. I hope this is the beginning of the flippening for BSV, right?
Oh, look, you know what? Call me
It might
crazy.
take a couple more halvings, but we'll get there.
You know, this is crazy. I didn't realize. Looks like I'm just on this website here. It looks like we're not the only people that are doing a day-long live stream for this event. Can you believe that?
I bet Comp has one going.
It looks like Block Set or something. I'm not sure who these guys are, but anyways,
Sweet.
I'm
Big
sure.
Shout out to Blockset.
I'm sure theirs looks very boring. Ours is the place to be. Just don't.
They're probably talking about straight beats. I mean, this is more like a vibe stream.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
just doing it because it's a historical
We're vibing.
event.
We're vibing, y'all. We're vibing.
But we got a lot of other things to talk about aside from the happening. It's nice to talk about it, like you said, between segments. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this hacker skull and all this stuff. It looks like they're probably working at a Kali on
That's
some
it,
command
man.
line shit.
That's it. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give the helm over to my boy Inside Out over here. He knows what's going on. I'm gonna get out of his way. They know what they're doing.
For sure.
Good luck, guys. If you guys need anything at all, I'll be right here, man.
Thank you.
All right, cool, dude. Thanks. Yeah, this is my friend Francis right here, and of course Mason. And yeah, obviously Francis. I don't even know if you can hear me in real time, honestly. But he's got an old school computer, but he's a fucking amazing artist, and I'm gonna show some of his art for him since his computer isn't really obviously capable.
And Francis, he's not on Twitch yet, right?
No, he's not on Twitch. That's one of the things actually I kind of wanted to like talk about is reaching people
Hey,
outside
guys.
of. Oh, there you are. Can you hear us in real time?
Yeah, I am. Everything's
Good.
a little better.
A little better.
Everything's
It's
cool.
probably gonna lag
No, it's
again,
working.
dude. Just cool.
No, I hooked up the modem directly to my computer. I think that helped.
You sound great for what it's worth.
Cool. Well, don't worry about it. We'll move on. Fuck it.
Yeah, I just wanted to, before you guys get going, I just wanted to comment on the canvases and stuff in your background, man. That's really cool, man.
And
Yeah. Well, you're seeing the back of the canvas.
Yeah, totally, for sure. Yeah.
Here's.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah. I need to get. Yeah. This is. I feel like I'm showing my shit in the shittiest quality with like a shitty
That's
webcam.
why I'm gonna do it for you, Francis. I got you, dog.
All right, I'm gonna put you.
Instagram
Okay,
account.
that's cool.
I'm gonna put you full screen.
Pat C said, what webpage is that?
I just gave away that painting today, literally. Literally just gave that painting to Mike Saltamacci. Cool.
I can give that.
Well, where are you guys all from? Yeah, y'all are from all over.
We're from New Orleans, all three of us. Me, you, and Mason.
So you guys are New Orleanites. I'm actually I'm in Southwest Virginia, up in the rural sticks a little bit. Andres, my colleague down there, he is in beautiful Miami.
Right on. I've been wanting to do Miami. Yeah, I was about to go for the festival. It was my birthday weekend, and Stereolab was gonna play around my birthday, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna go to Miami and hit Atlanta too."
Yeah, man.
It's like my birthday weekend. It's always around Jazz Fest and shit, but this year's canceled.
That sounds
I guess.
awesome.
It's all good. Yeah, next year. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
good old rural Miami, Florida. You know.
Okay, well, how, or I can send you files to share on.
You can do, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. Right now, like, I wanted to start off actually with a little bit of something from like Mason actually. Since you came in literally fucking 10 minutes before we started this, and I probably should censor my mouth. I'm sorry, guys. I tend to curse a little bit.
Bad timing, Francis.
Yeah, a downtime, Francis / bad timing. But we'll get to some of your art. I'll kind of like display some of it in background, and Mason like start do it. You know,
Right,
talk about what you've been doing.
You guys, I haven't really shown too much face, but I am a user 453, and I've been on Twitch for minutes. Been in Bitcoin for a while, you know.
Whoa! Hold on, I'm gonna stop you. Did you say 453?
Yeah.
Bro, you are OG. Who is this guy?
3 digits, baby.
Unbelievable. Wow, welcome.
Thank you. I first heard about Twitch in the CSW Slack channel, and immediately I just joined because I knew it was gonna take off. And I love Twitch. You know, I've actually like completely abandoned Twitter at this point, and it feels good.
Yeah.
But
You said, I think that you brought him into Twitch, didn't you?
I did. I met Kevin, and I, you know, gave him the whole spiel about Bitcoin, and got him interested, and you know,
I was a skeptic, dude. I was a true skeptic. I wasn't gonna do anything with it.
The dominoes are kind of just falling right now. You know, you get one person on board, and you know, it's like
I'm still a skeptic.
still a skeptic. By the end of the stream, you will not.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens.
Link to my website. That might be a little better, Kev.
Yeah.
It's like an outdated website. But...
So Josh, with his retro Twitch, kind of inspired me to do a little kind of clone of his, and I'll go ahead and share my screen in a second. But I'm working on this right here.
Let's see, I can unshare my screen if it makes it easier too.
Nope, I'm just I'm swapping over. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So I'm not like a good programmer or anything. I literally just got started. But I used some of Josh's videos, and you know, been kind of like on
shut
Dread,
up!
you
Look at
know.
this.
And so basically,
Awesome.
it's just like a Twitch client that basically just parses out all the YouTube links that are posted into Twitch, and just kind of it's like just a feed of, you know, music or whatever.
Dude, this is incredible already. Wow. Yes.
So this is just I just started this, but I do want to keep working on it, and
Where is it?
I'm constantly learning right now. So this is just the beginning.
And what is the Instagram handle here? I can find it.
Downtime Francis. But yeah, what are you showing, Mason?
Oh, so basically, Francis, you don't know too much about Twitch at this right now, right? I don't think Kevin's told you about it.
Yeah, Kevin, I've heard about similar, like, I knew another artist, and he was like, hey, guys,
I might have muted him.
Yeah, he told me about Twitch.
I don't know if that mutes it for everybody else, but no, I've talked to him about it.
It's just like a Twitter clone that's, that's able to monetize people's content, and every
right.
If you imagine a social networking platform where every like or comment is like a microtransaction, a micro payment.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
So, but they released their SDK, and there's people building on top of it. So to build like competing clients and stuff like that. So.
And you have to understand, he's not even looking at the YouTube video. Like, all he's seeing right now is us.
Yeah, this is really dope. What you should do, Mason, even if you don't have your own domain or HTML save, and then just make a web page there, and then do a tiny URL like shortener, and you'll essentially have like a tiny URL.com/media Twitch or whatever the case. Of course. Dude, here, check this out. I'm gonna put, because with Hunter being out, I don't have access to the hover right now. I kind of locked us out. So I'm able to work through Squarespace, but I can't like upload my own HTML files to the actual like FTP server or whatever the case is.
What he's trying to say is that Hunter's been giving us the hover round.
Correct, exactly.
Nice.
So if you go right now, if you go to www.tinyurl.com/brightgang, it's a free website. You could upload to HTML save. You can upload CSS files, XML files, HTML files. It gives you one page, and then it gives you subdomains for that page. So
yeah, I was thinking about grabbing the UTwitch domain. It's like $10 a month, and it's like I don't think I'm gonna be generating that much income on whatever shitty client I make.
Yeah, so
but it's not even I don't have like likes or anything enabled. Like there's no functionality to it really.
But the cool thing is that I've been thinking about something like this myself. This is freaking awesome, just to be able to get all the freaking YouTube videos straight in one feed. Like, again, you could take you see how you have it in your local host, right? It's like a local file or whatever. You could upload that to HTML save, and then use Bitly or tinyurl or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be nice if other people could start using it.
See, that's awesome. That is dope. Yeah,
but
all you would have to do is use HTML save.
I want to get to the point, of like retro Twitch and like have like boosts integrated and everything. But I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'm kind of.
You're doing well. That looks great, man. I like the search functionality as well. That's super freaking clean. The entire page looks really, really crisp.
Yeah, I tried to kind of emulate the Twitch design a little bit. But I
like the standard dark mode like that. That's a cool.
Yeah, so I usually just have this open. It sucks though, because like if I want to watch the stream right here.
Yeah, because the reason that happens is since our channel is not monetized.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
1,000 subscribers yet, or 4,000 hours watched.
Yeah, we gotta hit 1,000 subscribers before it'll let us embed our live streams.
What?
Yes, it's so bullshit.
Yeah. YouTube started this, and essentially what it does is it fucks little channels like ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So if you're not monetized, for example, you won't make it to the top of a YouTube search or whatever the case is, right? Because your channel is not monetized. They want to show their ads. So the first video in a search is going to be probably a video that has an ad in it. So we get fucked. We can't you can't watch it from there because,
that's crazy.
Again, we're not now, once it gets uploaded, then you could watch it, right? But as long as we're live streaming, we're screwed. It's retarded. Yeah.
Well,
And it's
let's
not
get
just
that-
here.
So
It's
if-
literally
if
it won't
you
embed
haven't
anywhere.
subscribed yet, subscribe now.
I'm subscribed.
Yeah, it literally won't embed. Well, you can't watch it embedded anywhere other than YouTube. You have to go straight to the YouTube client to watch it while it's live. It's terrible.
Dude, you know what you should do? You should fucking do an HTML save, upload it, right, and then charge money for the link. Now you're monetizing before you could even fucking.
I was even thinking
boom.
about doing something like, I know it's kind of against, the Twitch kind of ideals, but serve ads and make it free to post YouTube links. And or just maybe just eat the cost, 2 cents, somehow be able to monetize it enough so just like people can post music for free basically. And I don't know, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Like, let's say they don't want to post, but they want it up there because they don't want to spend the money. They would be able to send it to your bot. The bot would in turn post it, and then your bot would gain the revenue. But they don't have to. They don't have to spend the 2 cents, right? So they could be like, I really want this up there, but I don't want to spend the 2 cents because I don't think anybody's gonna, like it, or I just don't want to. I don't want to clutter up my feed.
Though, like on the back end wise.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get there, Mason.
So
dude.
calling out to all people out there, if you want to help me out or, give me some tips, then I would appreciate it.
Yeah, not only the mental tips, but if you want to help him out, do /pay at 452 or 453. What was it? 452. 453. $4.5 and then put a nice little amount there for my boy here working on getting media Twitch, UTwitch set up for us. That's freaking amazing.
I appreciate you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, let me hear from you, Francis, man. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your art a little bit, man. I'm curious.
I dropped out of an MFA program 2 years ago. And I met Kevin. We're part of the Katrina class. That definitely fucked up my world, our worlds. So my art is very it's I collaborate with nature a lot. So I was finding all this water stained paper a lot, scavenging post Katrina New Orleans, Six Flags, all kinds of shit.
Fantastic.
Blueprints. I paint the rain sometimes. I play music, I do film stuff. Kind of a form of I found out my technique is just kind of a surrealist technique, but my style is Asian. It's like my Asian style, or like my Asianness in me. Or I finally studied Asian art for the first time, but I found out I was doing all this art. Or, I was always wanting to work on paper and using inks and stuff, but I have my American side too. So it's like my Eastern side just busting out with my Western influence. So my art's like a crazy hybrid of that, plus being a Southerner.
Awesome.
Like I was not around a lot of Asian people here. So I grew up around White Town with Kevin. And where is Kevin? Did we lose him or something?
Yeah, maybe. It looks like I'm hosting now. I don't know what happened.
He said his shit got flooded.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah. Okay.
I had some Zoomers coming in.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody's streaming so much right now. I think it's just, and I don't know.
Excuses.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
That's all good.
So is there about only 8 of us in here or something?
No, dude, we got multiple people watching.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people watching.
Right. Hey, buddy.
That's the spirit. That's right.
I'm gonna smoke a joint or something.
As you should. Hey, so you said you're a musician, man. Expand on that a little more.
Yeah, music's always been a big part of my life, and I could not read music. I wasn't like your typical Asian violinist. I grew up on
Biggie.
piano,
Right.
but then the Blue Album made me get a guitar.
Fabulous.
And I sucked. When you suck at guitar for like 20 years, you get okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Eventually, I think.
I totally get that. Yeah.
And then I picked up drums after Katrina because I got a FEMA check, and then I got BP money and sell some weed.
Good for you, man.
Learn to play drums.
Attaboy. That's what I'm
And
talking about.
Now I'm living off fucking stimulus and unemployment. Shit's cool, dude.
Sweet, man. Sweet.
I've been buying Spawn toys and fucking Star Wars toys, mint in box that I wasn't able to get because I'm in the fucking middle of a third life crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, I got some Spawn toys. You guys want to see them?
Totally, man. Y'all got all the time in the
I
world.
want to know more about that hacker screen is what I want to.
I'll get to that and say that was just a fucking thing to have
Yeah,
in the background.
Francis is freaking cool as hell.
Dude,
cool.
he's a trip. He doesn't know anything about Discord and all that stuff, but he's an artist.
You
Give
can
it
sign him
away.
up for Twitch like during the stream.
Yeah, like it should be part of this, and he likes money. Yeah.
We all like money,
I
man.
fucking hate money.
Yeah.
Nah, kind of. I mean, my goal is to eventually like form. Okay, collaboration. This is gonna facilitate global collaboration all over the place, but eventually, I have a dream of just making ultra collabs to sell to the rich, so we get a bunch of their money and just fucking burn it at the end.
Word.
To make it worthless. That's like my ultimate comic dream, I guess. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of the goal of
It's
Bitcoin.
the idea of
almost,
Bitcoin,
to
yeah.
eliminate
It's like-
fiat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
Well, let's do it.
well, you can't because you're not part of the crew, dog. I'm sorry. You know,
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
So what about you, Mason, man? What do you do?
So I moved here from California. Lived in California for most of my life. Moved around a little bit. Mostly in the service industry. Working at bars, country clubs, restaurants, all that stuff. But I'm trying to make the switch right now and get into software design hopefully, and to not have to work my ass off 10 hours a day to make a living.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's been
I've been delivering food and weed, and it's been busy.
Hey, by the way,
good business.
can you hit a share screen from or watch stream
Oh, yeah,
from
sure.
Manifest?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is I want to get into these meat and bones. This is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah.
Cypher Punk's Manifesto.
And
Manifestos are important. We need to write the new one for this this
hold on.
crazy movement.
actually,
Francis, have you gotten the money button yet, Francis?
You don't
Have you
have-
gotten the money button yet?
I've not done anything like that, or I don't have any. I'm like pretty foreign to this whole world. And,
All right. What you're gonna do is, you're an artist, so you have a pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go to moneybutton.com. Well, grab a pen and paper.
You got a pen and
then go
paper,
to
right?
Moneybutton.
All right, go to moneybutton.com.
dude, if he touches his computer,
Type in,
just
write down moneybutton.com on a piece of paper, and then slide that into the CD
so he
drive
can
on your
write down
computer.
his mnemonic code. So he could write down his mnemonic passphrase.
Money, but
Are you able to go to that site right now?
Don't try to make what I was trying to make funny not funny.
if you guys are saying,
or no, you guys. Is this like a funny initiation thing?
Yeah, kind of.
we can make it that if you want.
Kinda,
It
yeah.
can be anything you want it to be.
That's
dude.
it,
That's
man.
the whole point.
That's it.
Point out too that Mason's
Okay,
button
so
post at moneybutton.com.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where you want to sign up at. The reason why you need a pen and paper, it gives you a 12 word passphrase that you're gonna have to write down. But once you sign up,
Okay,
you're able to get
I
on
think I
Twitch.
didn't hear the last 15 seconds.
You're gonna want to show us your 12-word passphrase.
Okay, so you just go to moneybun.com and then it's
sign up.
crazy.
And that's when you screen share.
Yeah.
Can I just do it on my phone?
Yeah. That would probably be a better idea, actually, because your computer's a piece of shit. It really is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then I just got lied.
Manifesto, why don't you walk us through this cypherpunk manifesto? I'm kind of itching to
You
hear.
talking about me?
Yeah, who's gonna run through this?
This is, dude, the cypherpunk. I'm Kevin, dude. This is a manifesto.
Yeah.
Wait. All right. See,
Okay,
talking about where we're heading in the future, I'm gonna let you know. This is written in '92. I don't know, if you haven't heard of the cypherpunks, everybody thinks cyberpunks. It's not a cypherpunk, right? Okay, when you see cyberpunk, don't confuse that shit with this. The cypherpunks were the original fucking gangsters, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Anything I say in here, don't believe it. Look it up, alright? And what I say is not necessarily true. Opinion, what I know. We're in this age of information, right? But also disinformation. So, like I said, do not believe anything I say. I do not mean it. But, this is just kind of like getting into basic fucking, like getting into the ownership of your data or not sharing it. That's exactly what this is. And, like I said, at the very bottom, right here, March 9th, 1993. You start looking into this and you actually read the whole thing. Hopefully some of y'all actually have heard of this manifesto before. It's kind of like a declaration of
Kind of gave birth to the crypto movement, really.
Yeah, it's about open source. It's about, the right to privacy. It's about basically cryptography has become somewhat of a weapon, I guess militarized, and I guess it's kind of always been the case. But in the same sense, like we have the right to bear arms, and my interpretation of that, if you want to say you can interpret things like that, this is an arm. We have the right to use cryptography and make sure that what we want to keep private is private. Of course, with that comes the need to learn how to do this kind of stuff, right? So a lot of people have a lot of misinterpretations, or they don't really know what they're doing as far as how to keep like a secure connection. And I think actually that's why I dropped off earlier. I was running a VPN and it was in a faraway place. It wasn't on Earth. Yeah, so when I do spoof my location, it's nowhere near here. And yeah, the manifesto is basically, actually this was read in front of Congress or the Senate or some shit like that, and there's a video of them, and like it's just honestly a bunch of fucking guys, long hair and kind of nerdy, and they just saw the internet being created, and they saw what could end up happening and what would actually they didn't say what could happen, they said what would happen. We the cypherpunks are dedicated to building anonymous systems. We are defending our privacy with cryptography, with anonymous mail forwarding systems, with digital signatures, and with electronic money. That is kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say in line with Bitcoin.
It's in line with the BTC kind of narrative, in a lot of other crypto coins. Because there's a huge distinction between being anonymous
and privacy,
being private, and being completely anonymous. And I feel like that is definitely a separation that distinguishes BSV, or a lot of the people who identify with BSV.
Well, it's very transparent.
Yeah, exactly, and that's okay for certain cases. I think the government should have complete transparency in transactions. But you can't have a smaller group of people being anonymous while everyone else is not, or being only. I guess my point is, you know, you want the whole system to be just, you know, private. Because if you have the ability to be anonymous, then that's when the fucking bad shit happens, you know, like human trafficking and whatnot.
Yeah, and you're right, but we're also in an in-between stage where if you don't protect yourself and you don't
no one says you can't protect yourself though, or be private, you know.
Yeah, we're in a limbo in between a Renaissance and the Dark Age Renaissance, right?
Yeah, and hopefully entering the golden age, right? This is the shit before the good. That's the way I look at it. You know, I think I from what I've gathered, a lot of people that I've spoken to recently believe that as well, or something similar to that. Like, it's kind of like something horrible. When you get sick, you get really sick and really sick, and then you get better, you know? And it's kind of like the world course correcting, or Earth, I should say. But I mean, that to me, anonymity, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't believe that. I do like the BSV transaction, microtransactions. I do. I like that. But and I'm not opposed to being transparent. But I do think we should be able to have the ability to be private. And the good thing that I do like about BSV, I'm not gonna lie, is that if we do have to have our information out there, there is no way to get around it, right? Then at least we do get rewarded for it, assuming we post decent content. But I think we're moving in a direction to where it's not just about content creation. It's about, we're gonna move into, like, no matter what, you're gonna have data being analyzed, and if anybody knows anything about Cambridge Analytica and stuff like that, it all kind of swayed the election. Well, actually, it didn't really sway the election, people-wise, electoral vote-wise, maybe. But that's kind of separate and aside from some of the things I kind of find important. Not important who the president is. I don't care. I'm not gonna say he's good or bad. Like I said, I don't care. What is good is that we are in a time where we actually have the ability to make a change, and currency actually is like the limiting thing right now. I feel like money is absolutely the thing that keeps us from being able to work together, and or actually the people that are in power of that. It's those people that divide. It's those people that make us see each other as different, or see difference as negative. I do not like black people because I am white. Stupid as fuck. I don't like Asians because I'm white. Or, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Why can't we compliment each other? When we get to that point and we elevate ourselves to that point, that is when I think true transparency will actually be okay. Until then, we need to protect ourselves in certain ways. And actually, the actuality of things is, you can get BSV, you can get a money button account, right? You don't have to do KYC verification. You don't have to do that shit. You do need an email address. You need to put your name in, I guess, but does it need to be a real name? I don't think so. I haven't tested this theory, but maybe I have. Because I'm Satan. And your mama. Her. No, I'm not really. That would be funny if I was, though. But I guess my point is, like, why shouldn't you be able to remain anonymous? Or what are you trying to say is the distinction between that and being private in this whole sense? I mean, anonymous doesn't go hand in hand with negative. It allows for it.
Well, I think what the difference between privacy and whatever, being anonymous,
yeah.
Correct, anonymity is that as long as you're not doing anything illegal, right, your privacy will always remain private, right? Now, the way that anonymity is, for example, if you're doing something illegal, you don't have a privacy if you get caught, right? So same thing with your phone records, right? Let's say you get caught up in a murder case, right? The cops just can't go to AT&T and say, hey, this guy is, caught up in a murder case. We need to see his phone records. They have to go to a judge and get an actual warrant before they could go into your records. So I think with the privacy anonymity thing is more of like you're pretty much anonymous unless you break the law, right?
It still requires good old-fashioned police work, chain analysis, whatever.
Correct.
To catch someone who's doing bad shit, who is also private, but it's possible to get caught, and that's why to doing shit on Bitcoin is a horrible idea.
Yeah, because it's very traceable. It's a freaking ledger. It's every transaction that they could track every transaction.
And not even that, but even if you do have a private blockchain like an XMR or whatever,
yeah,
encryption always gets broken. Like it's only a matter of time before whatever algorithm that coin is operating on gets broken or compromised.
How now? I know you said you were in BTC. Like how has your mindset changed since you've switched over to BSV?
Me?
Yeah. Like how has it switched your mindset? Have you gone to like now look at you, you're building UTwitch, right? Or something of that nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you ever think that you were going to build something on top of a blockchain like that, or whatever the case is, or use the blockchain?
In the beginning, definitely I've gone through the motions, I guess you could say, of perspectives being in Bitcoin, and especially being a part of the BCH split and then the BSV split, and getting those different perspectives. Craig Wright, as much as people hate him or think he's a fraud.
I'm one of those people. I don't like him. I don't care who he is.
But he understands how law works, and that resonated with me. And I never was got into Bitcoin because I thought it was allow me to sell drugs online or anything.
That's not, yeah. But it's not that, man. That's not the thing that's dangerous.
And Matt in the chat says encryption has the potential to be broken wide open with the rise of quantum computing. Daniel Kravitz says with Bitcoin, it's always a bad idea to be a mugger. And anonymity is okay, just talking about messages rather than money. So I'm gonna go back to the first one here. Encryption has the potential to be broken wide open with the rise of quantum computing. I'm no cryptographer. Okay. What does a message like that have to say for the BSV community? Is that something that could break BSV?
Well, it's not encrypted. I mean, I think there are levels. I'm pretty new actually to Bitcoin stuff, and pretty new to computer. Anything, well, I shouldn't say anything computers. I've been messing with computers for a while, but like within the last year and a half is when I decided to go to school and all that, and then just to take like Java classes and start learning programming and discrete math and all that. And since then I've gotten more into networking and security. And encryption that's the thing. Encryption is, when we're talking about encryption this way, I'm not saying there's not encryption going on I think there's no hidden thing, and we're not trying to do that with BSV. We're not trying to hide the fact that it's being transacted or who's transacting it. It's always going to be an address to another address, and there's going to be that's traceable. So it's already broken, if you want to call it. It's not broken because it was never encrypted. So I guess if you're saying that if you were to encrypt a coin, then yes, it can be broken, especially with quantum computers.
But there's the Bitcoin encryption algorithms, and there's SHA-256. But Andres, to answer your question, it will evolve. There's like I don't know. I really can't say I know too much about it either, but I know like the use of one-time pads and quantum key distributions will continue to make Bitcoin private.
It will make it private, meaning that
I think the only other person I heard talking about keys or something of that nature was Santa on Twitch. He's always talking about quantum keys and things of that nature.
Yeah,
when you guys elaborate a little bit more on what quantum keys are for everybody?
I don't quite know enough, but I do know that Bitcoin will evolve. Whether it's going to be BSH, I don't even know what the hell that is, or
yeah, I've asked about that so many times.
EOS, I don't quite know really, but all I know is that Bitcoin is evolving, and you have like Moisty talking about uranium and shit.
Yeah.
How that plays into all this, and say if BSV it's gonna keep evolving. There's no doubt about that.
I definitely agree with that. How about regular keys? Because, for example, like myself, I didn't really come from crypto Twitter, right? I got into crypto a little bit like in 2017, like around the bull run, right? But I never really knew anything. And now more and more and more, I think people are coming to Twitch that are using cryptocurrencies for their first time, or whatever the case is. Why don't you explain, for example, what is your key, period, and what is it used for?
Again, I don't know a whole lot, so I could be spewing complete nonsense, but it's essentially your password to being able to have the permission to move Bitcoin from address to address.
Yeah, if you have a private key, it's yours, and you don't show anybody that. Whenever a private key meets the public key, then the transaction can happen.
Which is like, for example, like the big thing in the whole right Satoshi thing, right? The keys, all you ever fucking keys. For somebody who's just getting into the crypto community, I think that's like, for example, like what? Yeah. So
you don't have to know anything about how Bitcoin works to use it.
Correct. And which is really cool about BSV, which makes it even easier. For example, Paymail. I think Paymail is one of the, in my opinion, one of the biggest things for onboarding people, because it makes it so easy to transfer money to money from friend to friend.
Yeah. As soon as the BTC people realize they don't have to that their wallet is a single address based, I feel like a lot of people think that they have one wallet, one address that they move all their Bitcoin in and out of, which is first off not secure at all and makes you highly vulnerable to being tracked and whatnot. But Paymail is great, for average people to be like, oh yeah, this is an email address that I could use to send money. That's great. It's just I guess a matter of people coming around to. It's gonna be when other systems start breaking down and not being secure, that people are going to have to use systems like Bitcoin and PayMail and stuff to be secure.
I've always heard that Bitcoin is obviously extremely secure. What happens where people get ripped off, it's because of the user. Jimmy Odom says, what happens if your PayMail registrar goes out of business? Ouch. So how would that work? Like, for example, you know how when you sign up Money Button, right, and you get your default number and you could buy a PayMail for $1 or whatever the case is. If you, for example, you sent B and you use InTheBox at twitchcast.com, right, as your PayMail, which SendB allows you to do. Is that what you mean, Jimmy? Like if that goes out, for example, your email, or just, for example, the Money Button domain itself or whatever the case is. But that's a really good question as well too, which most wallets still have a legacy address. Like you could still have a legacy address with Money Button. You still have a legacy address with Handcash. You could still have a legacy address with RelayX to receive money, Exodus, etc. But that's I do like that question though, because what does happen if your entire freaking business is dependent on 1, 2, or 3 PayMails, and all of a sudden they go fucking broke?
Yeah, there'd have to be some specs on, they'd have to, whatever company that's going out of business would have to, show people how to redeem their Bitcoin, or have it, tell people to train their wallets. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think, as far as all the cryptocurrencies though, as far as ease of use, and PayMail does do it, but that is a great point that Mr. Jimmy Odom, aka Pat Sajak, makes.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite Twitchers, I gotta be honest. Jimmy's tight.
You want to show off your little Jimmy? You gotta see this, Jimmy. It is dope as hell, man. Let me tell you something. He's my boy Mason over here, getting inspiration from the one and only, the Frog Slayer, Josh Hensley. Watch out, Elon. You got some stiff competition. You got a bunch of independent homebrew developers just coming up with their own fucking Twitch brew. I love it, dude. I fucking love it.
Let's see.
Let's watch this stream right quick. I see it here. Gage, if you could hear me, if you could switch to his stream right quick. Doesn't sound Bitcoin resilient to me, says Jimmy. Oh, no, it doesn't. Fuck PayMail. Legacy address for the win. If you're a business, or even if you're just a regular person. Shit, you kind of blew my mind here, Jimmy. Yeah, that is dope. I freaking love that. Hold on, let me see if Gage was able to switch it up. You could hear us right now.
Customize, posting that.
Hey, sorry guys, I was watching on YouTube on my phone in the other room.
No, that's straight.
So I'm sure I'm behind. It was like a 20-second lag at least. So what do we need? Mason's stream?
Yes. Yeah, so...
I showed it off. I mean, I'm sure most people have seen it in the beginning. Dope. But I do appreciate a lot of you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely dope. That's definitely something you should... Because I see you doing big things with that. For sure.
Possibly, if Twitch really blows up and there's hundreds of competing clients, like that'd be great. But their business model is pretty damn smart, because no matter how many clients there are, competition, they're still going to be making, their 2 cents.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Which is why, why Josh, I think he increased the like price, to 10 cents or something.
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone in here mention that liking post was 25 cents in the very beginning.
$1, I think, at one point.
Was it $1 in the very beginning?
$1, yeah.
I remember it being like when I first joined, it was 25 cents, and people would still like shit,
Yeah. That's why I like when they implement the pay button, even though it took a long ass fucking time to implement that shit. I mean, the /pay command. But I think if you see how much of that has been freaking used, it is insane the amount of money that has been paid out on Twitch to content creators for articles, for videos, for GIFs, for memes, for this, for that. So
does Twitch, when you do a /pay, is there are you only paying the 2 cents it costs to post, or is there there's no extra cost to it or whatever?
Maybe whatever the transaction fee would be for the 50. Let's say you do /pay 50 cents, right?
Yeah.
2 cent Twitch. The Twitch will come out to 52 cents.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But it's instant, it's fast. You can pay a content creator right away. So for example, if Francis over here takes a picture of one of his, the front of one of his canvases, puts it on Twitch, he might pay 12 cents for that post. But there's potential now that he gets a /pay for $1, or gets 20 likes and makes 80 cents. And even though it doesn't sound like much money right now, but my biggest thing about Twitch is it really is for the people. We own Twitch with our Twitches. Twitch is an interface to let you see everything that's on the blockchain. But without us, there would be no Twitch. Just like without us, there would have been no Twitter. Except Twitter fucking takes that shit for granted, and they fuck you in the ass, and they say, you know what, I don't like this post, everybody else likes it, but I don't fucking like it, so you know what, there's not going to be no traction on this post, buddy. All
my BTC friends rave about how they're going to integrate Lightning Network and shit. I'm like, no, that's not the way,
dude. Didn't BSV just do a 13 million transaction block the other day?
I think on the testnet they did?
I'm not sure. I think it must have been the testnet, right? The 3 gig block or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was testnet. Today I know there was a 90 megabyte block or something.
Which is fucking beautiful.
And then I saw there's some stress tests going on after the halving, and there's some Chinese groups are getting together and doing some stress tests. So I think it's gonna be really interesting after the week following the halving. I feel like it's gonna be exciting.
And Jimmy Odom says Twitch is a protocol, not a service. The distinction is critical to observe.
Yeah, Twitch doesn't exist, right?
Yes, it sure doesn't. And anybody who says it does is fucking nuts. Vigard says Twitch is the next AOL. Let me tell you something. AOL was fucking dope. AOL was fucking dope, dude. That Miami chat room get lit like a motherfucker, buddy. I made some good friends on there.
Oh, the AIM days.
Oh, yeah. Dude, pre-AIM. This was AOL, dude. This was America Online.
Yeah, AIM was the product of it.
Yeah.
I posted Francis' money. He ended up making a money button account. I posted his new money button account number and all that shit in the YouTube feed, and I'll put it somewhere else too. I'll get him on Twitch too, so don't worry. Yeah, if you want to fund his wallet, then there's no reason not to. So,
but I want to get more into this little command line shit you had up there, man. That looks pretty interesting. You gonna touch on that?
The GIF I had up earlier?
Oh, that was a GIF? I thought you literally had like Kali Linux
Nah,
track active, and then you were going to give us some type of packet sniffing lesson or something like that.
I was thinking actually about doing a little bit of that, but because we are live and because I don't know, I don't have a testing environment that is legal. I'd be testing my neighbors. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you know what? By the way, Jimmy Odom says Twitch is evidence of the fact. It's also gonna be 4 a.m. We're like 5 hours into this 24-hour stream, and I think this conversation has been amazing. We still got a good hour left, and I really thought we were gonna get into some hacking there.
Well,
you clickbaited me with that freaking GIF.
I can get into some stuff, but I am not going to be the one who does it. But I can show you the tools.
We're not trying to do no pen testing right now.
Okay, check it out. This is what I was showing earlier. You know the best tools, right? Where do they come from? The fucking CIA. Vault 7. I don't know if people know about this. I'm sure some of you do. And
Gage, if you can hit watch stream on that, if you copy, clear, and Roger Wilco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good to go.
Man, this is I want to talk like everybody knows this. Everybody knows it. Joy in the silence.
Is this what? Yeah, I was just about that.
It's part of. This wasn't actually. I don't want to. I want to say this didn't have to do directly with him. WikiLeaks is. Yeah, that has to do with him. But I don't know if the Vault 7. I don't know. When you get into like leaks and all that kind of stuff. Technically, Snowden didn't leak anything, supposedly. It was the journalist who did, so that's kind of whatever. So I don't know if Assange is actually the one who leaked this, per se.
Assange is probably one of the most base people on this planet.
And the dude's not doing so hot right now. Or last I know, I haven't really kept track of him, honestly.
Yeah, you want to talk about us suffering for a month and a half in quarantine? Can you imagine being in quarantine for years, dude?
And for what, right?
In a room, not even like you get to have the freedom of being in your backyard. Like,
what did you do wrong?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's crazy to me. Like,
you can't hug your family members.
You should know about this kind of stuff because all this is happening, and this is getting right into. There is no such thing as not being traceable anymore. You know, there are, and there are certain things you can do to avoid detection in certain situations. If you want to find the truth, it's typically locked away somewhere, and who has the truth? You know, I guess. That's getting into also some other things. What is the truth? Does any of this shit actually even matter? You know, like the real truth is not necessarily held by the government. It's within ourselves. And I was going to get into mycelial networks and what networking is and like different forms of communication. But if you want to talk about hacking, like these dudes, they're the ones that got hacking on block. All here. Let me show you. Like, this is a repository of tools, and this is a little outdated. Don't get me wrong. But this is tools that the CIA or the NSA or whatever, the subsection or subsector of the CIA that has to do with cyber intelligence. They use these tools and they're made to actually infiltrate Macs and stuff like that because those are mainstream now. People don't think that MacBooks.
And what are those files that you could actually compile, put together, and use on your own?
Yeah. And they've got.
Damn, that's pretty fucking based right there. That's hard.
See, that's all the source. But
and they got them obviously.
I mean, you can get it all zipped and all that stuff. and then the documentation, all that stuff, how to use their stuff. The thing is, you need to know what to protect yourself against in order to protect. I mean, you need to know the bad to protect yourself against the bad. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't have bad, right? In the ideal world. Me, the foamsmith, I'm sure you guys know who that is. Some of you.
Yeah, one of my favorite Twitchers. Speaking of Twitchers.
Him and I were like going back and forth last night a little bit on Discord. And, you know, whoever wants to read that conversation can, but he's cool and old school, and he knows a little bit about what can and can't be done. And I'm going to talk to him a little bit more in the future. But all this stuff is, it's available, and this is just the stuff that's available on the ClearNet, you know? And I think it's important to, like I said, you know, we have the right to bear arms. We should be able to know what they have on us. So, you know, just like they have, I'm not saying we should have tanks and shit like that to go blow up the government because they have tanks that can do that to us, but this is a way of being very sneaky and attacking you. And yes, no matter what you do, you're gonna have data points and different things that like give away personality traits, and they generally are traced back to your email address and stuff like that, or your cell phone number, and all that shit is tied together. Then you've got everything going on to do with your site. You just look at it like a branch of branches and a bunch of different points. A cloud of points that point to certain personality traits and all that stuff. So
Matt says if you're on a Unix-based system, you can use GDB to run exploits locally on your source code and breaks and select breakpoints before anything malicious happens. It's great to see control flow on a low level.
Yeah. So you want me to run this?
I guess as long as you're running it on yourself and.
Nah, I'm not talking about that right now. No, I know, but I'm not yeah.
Is that animals though?
Yeah, that's animal. That's my dog.
Oh, that's your dog. Okay.
That did not sound like a dog.
Yeah, I thought that was animal. I'm making.
Oh, you're right. It was an animal after all.
Yeah.
No, wait. Whoa. No.
I was like animal.
That's my dog's.
No, bro.
It was his animal. Those are different.
My animals.
Oh.
Yeah. If you do actually want to remain private, this is the way Snowden did it, supposedly. Tails on boot. Boot
So is this kind of like what people were doing back in the days when they were, you know, no. I'm not gonna mention it on here, but is this kind of similar to like to something like that?
Like back
like
in the
I
day.
guess they were using like a Tor browser or whatever, Onion, whatever the fuck it was called.
A lot of people misunderstand Tor, I think, too. Tails uses Tor, but if you don't use Tor correctly, then you're more or less just like throwing yourself out there and saying, hey, look, I'm looking to do something wrong. I'm right here. If you don't use it properly, then you should. If you don't know how to use it properly, you shouldn't use it. Sometimes it's better to take the other approach where you can do stuff in plain sight, like hide in plain sight. When you're on the Tor network, there's this thing called the fog of war, all right? What that is, here, I'd rather do it like this, because I don't want to kind of, you know, rip apart the definition. But let's see. Term seeks to capture the uncertainty regarding one's own capability, adversary capability, and adversary intent. Let's see. I've heard of this term used like referring to Tor, and basically the way I look at it is, you know, and what it is. I think of BTC, Bitcoin Core. That is kind of, that facilitates some stuff that is not necessarily legal, and it's probably used by our government. I may be wrong. I have no idea. Sex slave and all that, sex slavery and human trafficking, if that actually is going on. That's probably done and it's probably done by the people who have turned Bitcoin into this thing that is a bad thing that is used for
Hashtag MIT, hashtag Jeffrey.
Yep.
Hashtag Nexium.
Well, I was gonna get into Stuxnet and all that, which a lot of you may or may not know about. But that's a hack that just totally.
That's old. That's old school, right?
It is old.
That's old.
You know, it's how. If it's that old and it had that many 0 days at that time, I mean, what do we have now? If we can, I can say we, like, if this was done, put out there, and it infiltrated PLCs at a German car company, and I want to say it grabbed like maybe firmware off that.
Was that the VW thing or whatever? What was it? Was that the VW scandal?
Not the ignition thing, no.
Okay.
No, dude, this. Whoa.
I was like, what?
Way bigger than that. This is extremely intricate, very, very intricate code. Where when it was, it took, I want to say, about a year for them to actually, what the fuck do you call it? I can't think of it right now. I'm tripping, dude. I pull it apart, break it down, and analyze the code and figure out what everything was doing.
I think most 0 days are built into the hardware.
Well, they do have a lot of, now hardware is the thing that's hacked. And that's like getting into Sony or Samsung and all that kind of stuff.
Even Intel chips, like the last Intel chip that doesn't have proprietary or like.
Well, that was like a big China scandal too, right? Like they were putting the freaking.
I think that's what the worry is with the Huawei phones and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're essentially putting like rats in your freaking. Right, like remote access type shit or data. It sends out all the data, all your information.
Even in the Bitcoin miners, and whatnot. Like,
oh, now that's fucked up, right? So all this hardware is coming from China, and they're injecting code into the fucking chips, whatever the case is, to fucking mine your data.
Yeah, and
no matter what fucking device you're using, right? So you think you're safe mining your Bitcoin with an ASIC device. And all of a sudden it has some freaking malicious code put in there and it's mining all of your fucking data and your keys and fucking every transaction and every block that you mined and what pool you're part of and all this shit and sending it back to God knows where.
This right here makes all that really, I mean, this is Amazon. Amazon owns all server space, all cloud server space. Pretty much at some level, whether it says their name on it or not. And this is, I'm using WikiLeaks, whether you believe this shit's real or not. I'm just showing what's out here.
Dude, if it wasn't real, Julian Assange would fucking be out right now. Exactly.
That's kind of where I stand. But that's why I say nothing I say is right. Nothing I say is wrong. It is what it is.
Go research yourself.
Yeah, but
man says GPS dust chips.
I've never heard of GPS dust chips actually, and I've heard of smart dust technology, which is crazy if it's actually real. That shit's fucking actually. Oh god, that's scary. Talk about like.
Is that the nanobox?
Smart dust? Is it nanobox? What it is. Supposedly, I want to say they started in the 90s or so and tried to make very, very small, I guess I don't really know what to call them, devices or something like that would be able to work with the Internet of Things, okay? And be part of the Internet of Things and the implementation of smart dust. And like I said, I do not know if this is true or not true. It's kind of crazy. Maybe this is a real technology that is being worked on and Maybe it's out there, maybe it's not, but you wouldn't really be able to see it. And it's actually more of a 5G thing. So when we get into the 5G era, which we haven't quite reached yet, and that's getting into a whole new, like, completely different subject, because you got people burning down 5G tower.
People think 5G is about faster internet, but it's more about AI control. And but
that's exactly what I was saying, because we have been throttled with our internet for years and years and years, and I figured that out back in the day. And that's when, I started JTagging modems, and I fucking injected my own certificates way back in the day, right? I was paying for the best internet package I could get, and I wouldn't even get close to the speeds advertised. So I was like, fuck that, inject certs. Now I'm getting business class speeds, right? So that's a good point. That I like what Mason just said, because they want to feed us all this new fucking technology, right? Well, I'm sure 4G is capable of getting you speed so fucking fast that we wouldn't even need 5G right now.
Yeah,
right?
like there's a benefit for them to just like give out free like bandwidth to people.
Well, people getting free phones and stuff like that too. I mean, it's all technology. When you get into technology, it can be good and it can be bad. It depends on the person who's using it. It's like
especially when it's shit that's flowing through your body. That's a point that Degan had made, because of the higher frequency or whatever. The higher frequency, the higher, I guess, you can move the speed or bandwidth or whatever the case is. But why do we need these higher frequencies if my fucking piece of shit phone, which is only a year old, should be doing speeds 10, 15 times faster, right? Like with the technology and capabilities that are out right now. So when we end up getting this 5G, it's still gonna be a fucking throttled version of 5G.
It's like,
I look at this like, do you actually need to have a wireless signal? I mean, if you want to have high speeds, you don't need wireless necessarily. We've just moved to everything being wireless, and I guess 5G, it doesn't imply, well, I guess it does kind of imply wireless. The Internet of Things can't exactly be wired.
I just don't like the fact, which I don't buy all the 5G conspiracies, right? But
I don't buy them.
Have you seen where they take like a little electrical type cord or something, right? And they put a phone on top of it, and then they call the phone, and the fucking cord catches on fire and shit like that.
I haven't seen that. I've seen stuff about like pores, or like skin. Your pores kind of getting twisted into a helical kind of shape.
Well,
and
supposedly
dry your skin out. Shit like that.
Well, I mean,
and you're gonna have antennas all over the place. It's not gonna be a antenna a few miles away. Or
I definitely try to keep my phone away from my ball. So
it's best supposedly to use headphones for sure. And you're not supposed to. Supposedly, you're not supposed to. Well, I've read this. I do not know it's true. I don't have a lab, and I don't have humans to test this shit on. But you're supposed to keep your phone like a few inches away from your head. You know, if you're using it. Best, I guess, maybe use. I don't know. Yeah, headphones or headphones.
What do you guys think with this happening? We've been kind of asking every like segment, kind of like towards the middle, stuff like that. What are your feelings about it, Mason?
On that is I want to kind of destroy the whole digital gold argument for anyone who's BTC or listening. So the idea is that Bitcoin is scarce, that the block subsidy approaches zero, and there's less and less. The supply of Bitcoin is lessening, right? So therefore the price has to go up. That's the whole Ponzi scheme. Yeah. But when you look at like say BSV or BCH or whatever big blocks, supply actually increases with scale, because as the block subsidy approaches zero and more transactions are needed on chain, you're going to have payouts that are, a block is going to pay out 100 Bitcoin opposed to 6.5 just in fees. So when I think of supply and demand, I don't think of the number of Bitcoin, like it's a scarce amount of Bitcoin, so that's all there is. The supply is what's being on the market, what's being, what's liquid on the market. That's, to me, that's the supply. So when you have miners who are going to be making 100 Bitcoin per block, when there's millions of transactions per second, they're going to have more Bitcoin to sell and put on the market. So the whole idea for me, the way I think of it, is that this scarcity is just it's a complete fallacy when it comes to the whole Bitcoin BTC philosophy.
Price prediction for at the point of halvening.
Non-event. It's gonna be a non-event. Honestly, the difficulty adjustment is going to be more of a happening, which is like 1,000 blocks afterwards.
So that's when you predict things to move and shake. Something's going to happen. Something's going to crack.
Yeah, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to 100K like tomorrow or anything. I'm actually a $5 BSV supporter.
Why wouldn't we be, right? Shit.
So, yeah, I think I think Bitcoin is gonna go sideways for like 5 years. Like, we're gonna see the 8,
and we're talking about core right now, right?
Yeah, well, still, like, there's no denying that that core kind of moves the market at the moment.
That's for sure.
If Bitcoin dumps, all the altcoins dump. BSV,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's completely,
So the it's been decoupled. That's a myth in your mind, right? There's no decoupling yet. No true decoupling, right?
Yeah, not yet. It's when when more transactions start happening on chain, and that's when when the hash power switches over, it's gonna be real. That's when the fun starts.
Oh yeah, Kev. What about? Go ahead.
It might not be this happening, but it could.
I like that prediction with the difficulty switch. I think that makes a lot of sense. So you think this is going to be the real event is going to be the difficulty?
Yeah, if anything happens significantly, it's going to be that. That is, like, when the halving happens, it's going to be like a pause. It's going to be like everyone's going to be like, now what?
Do you
what's
think
going to happen now?
Hash power between BCH, BSV, who's going to win after?
Oh, BSV. Did you see that? I saw some news about Bitmain being like split in two or some shit.
No, I didn't really go to my new mine coming out, which looks fucking amazing. But no, I didn't hear about a split or anything like that.
When I say split, I mean like let's see, like Jihan lost some power they're basically trying to coup, pull a coup on the company.
That sounds interesting. Why don't you look into that get like a little breakdown of it? And Kev, what about you? What do you think is you think halvening is non-event?
To be completely honest, I'm new enough to this space to where I shouldn't really comment on that. As far as I have any, I don't really. I'm learning, dude. Slowly but surely, But the only thing I can really talk about to do with Bitcoin or BSV or whatever. Bitcoin Core is what I feel about the communities that they are, and that I do think value is created by using a currency, not holding it. And BSV moves. And people do stuff and build stuff and they own shit. They're not putting stuff out that's shitty because they pay for it, And even if it's 2 cents, it's like it still conveys the message, or it makes you. It's like when you play a poker game. If you're not playing for money, but you got chips on the table, like, you really playing for real? If there's nothing at stake or you really care about what's going on, even if you're playing for $5, dude, like, you're kind of more invested in the game, just like you're more invested in the game when you're posting something or sharing something.
True.
Even if you don't care about the reaction or whatever from other people, if you think it's valuable and you put it out there, it should be worth what you paid for it to yourself. Now, and on the other side of things, if people do like it, which does oftentimes happen, it's a supportive community. It's an artistic community to a certain degree, I'd say, which is why I think it should appeal to artists like Francis. You've got good content and you get money back from appreciation, I guess, it's not anything to do with the Halvening. It's just my take on coins in general that I've seen, and Violet or Vitalik or what the fuck. Well, I don't know. Dude, he just seems sketchy as fuck, so.
Yeah, he does too.
And it doesn't seem like it's decentralized. Like, whenever you got that dude, I think.
Wasn't there one time supposedly some hoax that they were like, they supposedly said he was dead or something, and the coin took like a dump after that?
You talking about Kim Jong?
No, Vitalik.
It's Kim Jong dead.
That was some of the best memes that came out though, with the dancing pallbearers and shit. Oh my god, there were some good Kim Jong-un memes. Francis, how about yourself, hearing that people are making money on Twitch and it's inspiring people to build their own little homebrew Twitch, and it's inspiring people to do original, unique art and make unique memes because they're in search of that /pay. Does that entice you? Does that make you wanna? Because you look very artistic from, like you said, whether it's music, whether it's art, whatever the case is, you have so much content. It doesn't kind of like spark your curiosity in a way and say, gee,
hey, sorry, I got my mic on now. Yeah.
No, it's cool. Maybe I should like post some of my stuff on this.
Is lagging horribly.
You sound great though on this side. You're coming through good as far as your upload. But does it kind of spark your curiosity in wanting to post on a site like Twitch where you could possibly get instant tip for your original content?
And imagine it as Instagram.
Sorry.
Think of Twitch as Instagram. Just translate it over, because you've got a good Instagram following. If people actually, if you have the same following on Instagram, you got
okay, my shit's lagging really bad, so I'm just gonna.
Oh.
Fuck.
You might have been better off on your phone.
Being that,
I'll answer that question when I can.
Being that you post on Instagram a lot, right? Why does it spark your curiosity that it makes it so easy for you to make money on a platform like Twitch? If you're already pretty good at social media, wouldn't you want to check out an alternative site where the point is to possibly make money from your posts, which is what a lot of artists try to do with Instagram, for example?
Fuck, dude, this is really bad. Or y'all can still hear me right now?
Yeah.
As like, what do you think about using Instagram as your, if it were like Twitch and you get, you know how many followers you have?
Right. No, I only have 1,700 because I don't play the hashtag game and all that shit.
Well, yeah, you don't play the hashtag game, but you do have a lot of followers.
Okay, well,
And a lot of comments.
yeah.
Pretty big network. People, there's some people that don't know that are bound by art from a few hashtags.
Yeah, but you know how many likes you have on stuff? Like, imagine if you get it to 4 cents.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And it costs you 1 cent per post, or 2 cents, or whatever. Drop call, nice. I tried. No, I've lost. I can't hear shit.
Kevin, tell him to just jump on Discord on his phone.
Yeah. Get on Discord on your phone and do it like that right now.
What's crazy is that he probably has so much good content that he could post on Twitch and probably do really well. And me and Manifesto and myself were talking about like Twitch is almost like a decentralization of popularity right now, right? So let's say you're a big name like Halvening, you jump on and you immediately get like 200 followers, right? Or you're Danny Trejo and you immediately get like 400. Or he started off with a couple hundred, but Danny Trejo is very active, so he's actually gotten a lot of followers. But if you look at somebody like Calvin Air, right, that he's huge in the BSV community, you would think that everybody would follow him right off the bat. Well, before he posted his first post, I think he had like 170 followers or something like that. And then once he made his first actual post, he got like an additional 30, 40 followers. But he's not even way up at, you know, the top. What I really love about Twitch is that it's very receiving. It's not as hard to get a follow as it was back when likes were 25 cents or likes were 10 cents, whatever the case is, and it was more like just crypto Twitter for BSV. But if you came from Twitter, whether it's politics, if you came from Steam It for your art or whatever the case is, Twitch is at the point where you can build a strong following, and if you're active and you're posting good content, you could be right up there with somebody with a following like Calvin Ayers.
Yeah, look at Meme God or Dookie or any of the people who've been grinding on there have fucking hella followers.
Hella.
and they consistently get likes. It's great. And I think, like you said, decentralizing popularity. If you notice, someone who is really popular, say like Calvin, they get a bunch of likes on their first post. But with everybody, the amount of likes they get, it starts dwindling down.
Look at Chico Crypto.
Yeah, totally.
If you go through Chico Crypto's feed right now and you go down to post, has 40 likes or 50 likes or something like that. He even got a /pay for a nice tip, right? And then the next post was 25 likes, and then 15, and then 10, and then now he gets 1 fucking like a post, but he doesn't engage with anybody. He doesn't try to interact with anybody. All he does is just post his YouTube video, puts a nice. Don't get me wrong, that they're very nice, well together, but there's no interaction. It's not like it was for him on Twitter where he had X amount of followers and he would put out a post, doesn't have to engage with anybody, because most people on Twitter are useful idiots anyway, so they're just gonna like, so he got a bunch of follows in the beginning, but
really if you engaged more with the PSV community,
yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't be that hard for him. I mean,
dude, he could easily be top 5, top 10 if you spend an hour or 2 on Twitch a day, just reading comments, replying to a few, people would be like, all right, cool, I enjoy watching this guy talk, I'd rather have him on than this channel or that channel or this show or that show or whatever the case is. And it's nice when people interact with you, you know.
Even on Twitter though, he's not very interactable, I guess.
But on Twitter it's free though, right? So it doesn't really matter. You're just clicking, right? But on Twitch, why are you going to like somebody's post every single time and you know you're a fan and you're
there you go.
every single time and they never fucking even respond? Even if it's the only comment he has in one fucking Twitch, he won't, you know,
Sometimes
respond.
I'll go and check like someone's profile and see like how many likes, like their last like they made or something.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see, you know, because you got to give and take in the platform, you know, you can't just like put something out and
100% agree.
expect to just like fucking make it.
Twitch is all about proof of work,
Reciprocation.
Reciprocation. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I was about to butcher that. Reciprocation and engagement, dude. You know. Also putting people on Twitch like to use their brains. Like for example, Boss, right? With his little puzzles and stuff that he does, dude, people love it because they need a second to wind down. You know, they want to do a little brain puzzle, and you know they're fun, and he gets the community involved. Twitch is a completely different meta than Twitter. It's completely different meta than Instagram.
It's funny when you take out, you know, the freeness of it and the amount of bots and, you know, and just see social media like for what it is. Like it's kind of like changes your perspective on a lot of shit.
Yeah, dude, and I really do believe with microtransactions, it's gonna kill services like Netflix. It's gonna kill services like YouTube. It's gonna kill services like Hulu.
We're gonna kill services like Hulu.
Exactly, because you know what? I know plenty of people that don't even have cable. They could care less about their fucking cable.
And then even getting rid of
Netflix
like,
and Hulu,
Netflix
and YouTube. Right.
But forget about that. Like, this is going to be a network. This is a network. We are a network.
How am I gonna watch Westworld and freaking?
Oh, you can, dude.
We'll port it over.
We'll have an indie network.
It. Mm-hmm.
We need to just create our own shows and shit.
That's the point.
Even I don't know. What's his name? The guy who My Movies US. Ted Rivera. You follow him on Twitch?
Ted Rivera. What's his user number? Do you know? I know. There's a few directors and stuff like that, and Michael McMahon. I can always, but I'm so horrible at.
Yeah. What was that? What was the deal with that little?
The helical.
Yeah. Did you see that? I was wondering.
I have not seen the preview. I think Animal might have seen it already. But basically what he did was he's been promoting his video on Twitch, going through like the entire process of how he got there, you know, like when he was shooting the soundtrack, pictures, and then he started a thread, and if you do /pay $2 to him, leave him your Twitter handle, he'll DM you a link to the premiere or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And it just looks so like, almost like sci-fi-ish, modern-ish. Like the guy almost reminds me of Hitman in a way. I really gotta, with all this stuff that we've been packing together for today, which has been fucking epic so far. I really haven't had much time for damn near anything. But I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Francis, dude, can you say anything? Right? Say something. You can hear us, I'm assuming. Your mic.
Turn your volume up.
Yeah. Your volume's just really low. I don't know if you can turn it up on your end, but yeah, just letting you know.
I don't know how it's.
Well, we'll have you on another one for sure. Well, I'll make sure you actually know how to use Discord and you don't contact me 10 minutes before this starts.
He's been a cool ass character though, man.
Dude, Francis is like a one of a kind dude. Straight up, like, yeah.
You're golden. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah. Dude, that's my first roommate. Yeah, I will.
I think he'll do extremely well.
I dropped his money button thing.
It's a weird, social media is just weird for artists and ego, and I have to take breaks. I mean, I've been on Facebook and shit for literally like 15 years, like right after Katrina, literally 2005. That many years of my life are on Facebook. It's like basically was like my live journal. I posted tons of dumb drum, I'm mainly posting shit when I'm high. That's like when I'm letting my voice out. So I'm intoxicated. So mainly it's like the equivalent of drunk posting. And then I'm posting thirst traps like art, I guess. Sometimes, but I only share my art. I don't share my face that much. I express myself mainly through my art. And my network is nothing but all creators. They're amazing musicians, artists, film people, and we're all broke as fuck. It's like if I was getting paid for my likes, I've been posting, so I did a painting, and it's my most epic painting. It's
16,
it's 4 by 7 feet.
41, like all this 70, 63, 29.
Yeah, you should well, that's on Twitch.
Dude,
well, that biggest painting, I got like 300 some likes and tons of loves and shit. I like really spoke my truths about, because I was dealing with tons of mental health shit. I'm an Asian American in this crazy ass world here. I don't know. And artists are all just
crazy ass world.
I don't know. Yeah, it's all that too. And I don't need to let that shit get to me. And honestly, luckily haven't dealt with too much racist shit lately. But yeah. But if I was getting paid for my likes, I would be I wouldn't be a starving artist like I am. And luckily I do have a nice family, and I appreciate the support system because it keeps me going. Like, if I wasn't getting feedback on my art, I would stop. Yeah, I would stop doing my art. But, art is just meant to be shared, so it's meant to be shared. But, the value of art has dropped a ton lately. But, it's going up, hopefully.
Well, you and I know a lot of the same artists and musicians around here, and I can say, I know a badass
oozing with creativity. Yeah. We're all over the world, dude. Everyone's a beautiful fucking artist. Yeah. We're in the Renaissance. There's Renaissance people all over, and a lot of people don't know it, or they need to. I don't know. It's never too late to pick up any creative outlet. Whatever.
Thanks, motherfucker.
Or physical, Yeah, people need, I don't know, a lot of people don't have art in their life or some creative outlet. It's a good art therapy, music therapy, I don't know. Just any type of therapy and art.
I just think growing up around you, Paul, Nathan, and that right there, that's like so much creativity. I'm not an artist, dude. I'm not like that. I play guitar for it.
Well, you're a musician and you're a cook. But you're a beautiful soul, and
love you
can do any art you want later. I mean, we've all been fucking busting our balls doing shitty jobs, but everyone's
doing the non-fulfilling jobs.
Soul-sucking jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're good.
Well, the restaurant industry can eat you alive if you don't truly have a passion for it, And that's what you and I both. Yeah, that's your family. They own very prominent restaurant in our area. They do. Actually, I'm ranked up there with Commanders. Well, I'm letting people know, dude.
It's my dad kind of was. He brought Chinese food to this area. So as an immigrant,
he did. I know.
That's what immigrants did, I guess, or do.
Yeah, a little splash of Cajun in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Asian Cajun. Yeah. We worked with all the local seafood and
And Paul Perdon. Cable.
Yeah, my dad. Just befriended all these French Cajun chefs, and they took him under his wing. But
And
he
if
worked his
people
ass
don't-
off. Just in,
people don't know who that is and they know what the blackening method is, then they know who Paul Prudhomme is. Or if you've ever heard of a turducken, that's who coined that, Paul Prudhomme. And that's actually where I was working before all this shit happened. So it was at K Paul's for the restaurant that he built, but is no longer around to actually run.
So all three of you guys are musicians then? Kind of?
yeah, well, Kevin needs to make his guitar alive again.
I
Instruments
see
have
it right
souls.
there.
Cool.
I do see
Yeah,
it.
if you haven't played in a long time, its vibration has stopped for a while.
Well, I hope
But
you
the
guys
carrier vibration,
I hope you guys come back at like 7 o'clock tonight because I'm gonna be straight playing some drums on the stream for a couple hours.
Yeah, and I know Daz is
no shit, I'll jam with you. I can jam at my house late as fuck. That's the cool thing about my house. I'm
Word.
Like at my house.
That's
How
what's
y'all
up.
gonna meet?
Neighbors.
Yeah.
Come over to his house.
Yeah,
dude.
come over, dude.
Well, no. I mean, cross-country collaboration. Like there will
We can
there
do
be
that.
technology where we could jam?
Pingless.
I'll help you get your,
all over the
I'll get your
world.
desktop set up with you, dude. I'll help
Yeah,
you get
dude.
your desktop right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, is that technology possible? Like, can we make
Yes.
that happen?
Absolutely.
You know, I don't know.
I think we can.
You can
I
have
don't know if y'all will
Daz.
be any good.
You can have Daz
Well, I mean,
take
where
the
do you get the
soundtracks and mix it
sounds?
for you guys.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick, actually, Daz is about, like, when he comes on.
That's gonna be
I
fire,
know
dude.
he's- Oh, dude, if you've seen what he's got in store.
I've seen, but I remember I popped in there for a second, but I didn't hear anything.
I think I was in there, dude, and you, like, got in there finishing up and that. Oh, dude, his setup is wild. I mean, I appreciate it. I've always liked electronic music and stuff, and
Yeah.
trance and stuff. But,
That's
like,
sick.
it seems like a European thing almost
Oh, yeah,
now.
definitely.
Because
Huge
we
here.
didn't really keep it here. But anyways, I know we're coming up on our like 2 hours, and
You're good,
I don't
man.
know.
You got another 15
Anyway.
minutes left. I think Boss is up in the room here.
Yeah. And I know I just want to say to everybody, like, appreciate bearing with us. If I didn't actually hit on a certain topic that was maybe asked or whatever, it's either because I didn't know or, went on a tangent. I tend to do that. But if anybody does have any questions, hit me up either in Discord or Twitch or whatever in the chat. I'll check the chat out after this. But I mean,
Right on.
I'm just another person, so
Sure.
Yeah.
No, well, you
What
guys
should
were.
I be
you
looking
guys were
at?
awesome.
I should be just looking at the chat, right? Or find a way to look at all the screens in the chat.
Well, the chat is on the YouTube video.
Hey, Francis.
Oh, right. Yeah.
After this, I'll send you the YouTube link so you can actually watch everything all
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is about to be done in a second anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
if you have anything to say real quick, Francis, go ahead and say it. Like I have your Instagram stuff up and I played that Vimeo
Hey,
thing.
you
that
guys still
had.
have you guys still got 15 minutes too.
Okay.
I don't want to make Boss start early and have to go an extra 15 minutes as well. So take your
Yeah.
time,
No, I
man.
hear
Take
you.
your time.
Well, I just,
He knows.
I know it takes time to transition, so and,
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't.
sure.
I'm not honestly,
know.
dude. I look at myself as the person who connects people. I'm really, I enjoy doing computer stuff, but
Yeah,
I know people that
Yeah, we all
are talented.
I feel that.
I'm not the super talented one, but I do know the person that might actually be able to collaborate with you. And I'm not
I feel
saying
that. I feel that.
don't
I
know,
get it, man.
I can do some stuff, but
And you're modest. That's
He is modest. I'll give him that.
I don't know, man.
You're being modest about being modest.
Yeah. Well, either way, I really enjoyed you guys, man. I know I haven't been around the whole time, but I have been. I got eyes on you. Don't worry. It's been awesome, man.
And this is going to be on a hard drive, correct? It's not going to just be on YouTube. It's going to
Yeah,
be
totally.
backed up.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. Fucking right.
well, I hope to improve my experience with this, or I plan to make it. I don't know, share some cool stuff, but
That was
I literally just jumped in like 10 minutes before, and I'm like, oh
You're
yeah,
good,
how do you
man.
do all this shit still? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. No,
It was
you can
a
just.
little bit of an awkward start, but we got.
Yeah, and we'd love to have you
Awkward
back,
all the way
man.
through, dude. I'm not even going to lie.
No, it was great, man. It was great.
This isn't something I'm not a content creator and all that. I mean, I haven't been before. I'm not creating content. I'm offering other people's content or offering them to create their content. So,
I get it, man.
yeah, but I enjoy it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. Good conversation. You guys are bringing up some cool shit.
I think Mason, if he's got something to say, like, he's the one who introduced me to Bitcoin and all that stuff. If there's any like following up, you close us out with the next 10 minutes or so, and I've said my thank yous and introduced Francis, and that's it. And you are already out there, so I mean.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you actually, Kevin, because I've been on Twitch for a while, but I never really got jumped into like InTheBox. Like you jumped into InTheBox, way before I did, or
balls deep.
Yeah, like you gave me kind of the motivation to
push,
reach out and connect with people more. I do appreciate that because.
Well, hell yeah, dude.
Stayed on the wayside.
Yeah. Oh, you have dropped off for a little while, I'm not gonna lie. But you're back. And
sometimes
you're doing
I like to take a break from the Bitcoin world, like.
Dude, I've been feeling a little flooded myself. All this like visual stuff, and it's not just the Bitcoin world. Well, I mean that's kind of in itself a whole nother thing with the social, not just social media shit, just the non-stop stimulation.
The information,
visual and audio, which is something I actually wanted to get into. I'm not gonna get too into, but everybody should look into octopi, and mycelial networks, and compare those to actual networks, and just think about them.
I am a firm believer that we're all connected,
That's when I talk shit in the background.
This segment has been fucking dope. A lot of dope stuff coming out. Art, we got Volt 7, we got UTwitch. Man, this segment was hardcore. This was some dope shit. Big up, Mason.
I was worried that we would there was a lot of expectation following Daniel.
Okay, damn. Well, I feel I don't know.
Oh, you guys crushed it, man, on some real shit. I'm not even joking,
Appreciate
man.
it.
You guys fucking
It's
crushed
completely
it.
different.
I'm just taking in a lot right now. I've never seen any episode before this or anything. I was trying to, but I didn't. But yeah,
You were busy watching that house burn down last night near your house. Like there for real,
Yeah.
was a house with like 7 or 8 fires.
Yeah, I'm in a small town, and there's like 10 fire trucks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Mason, you definitely got to put that HTML save thing to use, man.
I'm gonna probably try to grind that out, in the next 48 hours, and I want it to be
Fuck yeah, bro.
for people to use, man, because it feels good, to put something out there and have some proof of work.
Dude, you let me know when that drops. You give me a link. It up all the fucking time.
Yeah, I hope that it ends up to be in some like retro Twitch, where people actually use it.
I think they will. I mean, first off, you got like every single one of these videos that be on, right? I think I might have cut out, but maybe.
Yeah, that's hardcore because you have a bigger gamer media period, right?
Bigger what media?
You're actually, because it's videos, so everybody loves videos. Maybe some people are not into gaming, but everybody loves seeing it entire.
I mean, personally, I always enjoyed like I know Jimmy's always posting music videos, and my music catalog has grown so much on Twitch, and it's just great. And so I think it's cool just being able to share with each other, what we're listening to and stuff.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's cool. I'm excited to meet everyone else.
So for everybody that's still watching out there in the chat, watching us live, thanks for being here. We are coming up on 6 hours. We're a quarter of the way through our massive live stream. Just to reiterate, we are going to break this up into 3 parts so that YouTube doesn't hate us. Boss here, who big face reveal up here. Pretty stoked about that. Obviously,
Chew on edge.
yeah, exactly. No, he's been a killer Twitcher for quite some time now. If you don't know who Boss is, then you're just not on Twitch, basically. So we're totally stoked for that. He's going to be hanging out with us and taking over the box for the next couple hours. I know a lot of people are stoked about that, me included. You were just recently. We've had Inside Out at the helm. Before that, if you want to go back and check it out, we had Daniel Crowitz, Cosmos Sagittarius. Before that, we did a little segment of our own, and we got a lot of really cool stuff to come. TK Coleman, River, Manifestival, Daz, K2, Costumized, who's actually been hanging out over here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he's working on.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know he's got some chain link. I think he's expanding on that chain link costume a little bit. So he's actually going to be taking over, talking about what's going on, what he's been working on. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Then after that, Kurt Wucker comes on, and then I'll be doing some cool stuff after that, and then we'll wrap it up with Trisha One Love doing some retro gaming at 9 o'clock. It's gonna be a fun time.
Definitely try to get some rest, and then I'll probably pop back on when
I hear you, man.
When I wake up, see what's going on.
Oh, show.
And I'll just be watching. I won't sleep.
He doesn't sleep, so he'll be here trolling us in the chat.
I'll check some out too.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. It's been cool.
Yeah, it's definitely been awesome.
It's been an interesting experiment socially for myself, you know? Like I don't like I said, I don't do this kind of stuff.
You nailed it, man.
So is it
Host of the Year award, Inside Out.
Bringing cool people to the area and being brought to the area by cool people. How about
Dude,
that?
you brought a new Twitcher on and signed him up for Money Button live. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
You can actually attribute that to Mason because he is a
domino effect.
Yeah, see? There you
without
go.
him, I wouldn't be here. Francis may not be here.
And you never know, some weird chain of events may have led me to get on. You never know. Little butterfly effect or whatever, right? You guys remember that Ashton Kutcher movie?
Yeah, it's the dominoes going like that.
Exactly.
Synchronicity.
Twitch is the real virus.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, I was getting tired of my network, honestly, man. I see the same shit all the time, and I'm scared to post certain shit because of my family.
Dude, I get it. I get it. That was the main reason I showed up to Twitch myself. You know, like just being a content creator and just like it's really unique, man. You'll like it for sure. I know I did. You know, as being a guy that like, you know, just for me, just a quick perspective before you guys get out of here. You know, I've been in tons of bands. Like I've been, you know, trying to push content on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Snapchat and everything else for years, man. And it's different here. It really is.
That's cool.
You just kind of gotta dive in head first and realize that first couple weeks when you don't have any followers is gonna suck probably, but it just snowballs. You know, like you start posting stuff that you know it's a throwaway. It's like, oh, it's a 2 cent, it's bullshit, it's a shit post. But then like you suddenly have 4 likes and you have like 1,000% profit, and you're like, well, that may have been worth my time after all. So it's fun, man. You'll have fun with it. We did an art contest recently, actually. We did a really, we had like over $200 in donations that we started with $10 in the prize pool, and we said we're going to split the money up. And we threw $10 in, and then people just posted tons of art, and everybody kept donating, and you know, and then we ended up giving the top few people, we split the pot with them.
That's cool.
Yeah,
do I mean people host classes and stuff or stuff like that?
Yeah, kind of. You see a lot of like just like tutorial stuff. I mean, Customized here is probably gonna host a class here in a few hours. You know what I mean? So you kind of got to look out for it. There's not really a great way to like group and filter content yet. So it's kind of hard to like. It's all just you see everything. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of filter your own feed by following people that you like, finding artists or whatever you're into, following and kind of making your own.
You create your own world. So to speak.
Yeah, you create your own feed on those other formats, but
but you really don't.
I don't know, but I think, Facebook, like I definitely see the same people because I'm friends with like 2,000 people. I try to keep it around 2,000.
Yeah.
And then like 1,700, you're definitely not seeing all that shit on your feed.
Oh yeah, I get it.
And my numbers are nothing compared to like tons of artists that are
right.
There's a lot of rich people just starting to do art. And they're doing like just paint pouring there's a lot of that going on. Acrylic pouring.
Right.
There's a lot of moms, like really rich moms, just starting to do art. They're playing the hashtag game, and they buy all these fake followers, and they have a ton. I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know. But,
it's all very.
Super sold out.
It's all super scaled down right now, because there's only about 12,000 members right now. So you kind of have to scale it, So like getting 10 likes is really good. Where it typically it's kind of hard to grasp that when you start on Twitch, like you come in and it's like you drop a fire post, you get 3 likes, and you're like, wow, that's whack, But you kind of have to realize that at scale.
No. Build up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've worked
on the clock. I'm gonna let you guys go.
Hey, thanks, Mason. Good to talk to you.
You too. I appreciate you guys a lot, and I'll be seeing you
Pleasure,
around.
brother.
Likewise,
I'll
man.
talk to you more in the future. I can't wait
watching
until you
more.
release me the link for UTwitch.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I'll be
man.
hanging out in here. I got you
Sweet.
guys.
Awesome, man.
Much love.
Likewise.
For shizzle.